These benches, guys. इसके पीछे मत बैठ। एक चीज को छोड़ दो, शायद यहाँ पे दिख रहा है तुम लोगों को। ऐसे 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 करके देखो, वरना I don't want that. You can come. ठीक है? बस अब इससे आगे नहीं हो पाएगा। अरे मुझे ऐसे चलाना पड़ेगा, राइट? शुरू हो गया क्या? Settle down quickly. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. All right. So I am Juhi. I will be taking your financial accounting classes. I am the academic counselor for this particular subject. Is this the first offline class? Yes. At the college? Yes, ma'am. Great. So have you taken a round of the college? No. Oh, do that, okay? Yes. And give us a feedback on how did you find the college? Sure. Right. So okay. So I am Juhi. I have been teaching for last 6 years. Currently, I am teaching in under Department of Financial Studies, Shahid Rajguru College of Applied Sciences for Women. I have specialization in finance. I am pursuing PhD currently from Delhi School of Economics on the field of sustainable financing. So that was my introduction. I really want to know all of you, but since we are live right now, we'll be doing it at the end of the class, okay? One thing that I want to know is what is your background? How many of you have studied commerce in your 11th and 12th? Yes, ma'am. All of you? Down. Anybody who hasn't studied commerce in his or her 11th or 12th? Sorry? Anyone who hasn't studied commerce? Sab commerce ke bache? Yes, ma'am. All right. So then you must know what accountancy is? Yes. So this class is going to look like a brush-up class on your 11th and 12th accountancy. We are going to build ahead from here on. So we have 10 teaching lectures in offline mode for this class, right? I'll have to pace up accordingly. But whenever you think I'm pacing up too quick, you'll have to stop me there and then and ask me the doubts. All right. A lot of the material you'll have to study yourself. I am going to tell you कि क्या चीजें आपको खुद से पढ़ के आनी है, and I am only going to take the complex part of the subject. Okay. All right. So I think we should start with the subject. Let's dive deep into the subject. Now, okay. What is your knowledge on accountancy? What is accountancy according to you? Give me words. Shout out. Recording is a good word. Definitely. Recording. What else?
No, ma'am.
Oh, good. Recording. What else?
Money transactions.
Recording monetary transactions is very important. We cannot record anything and everything happening in the business entity. If somebody is buying scissors or if somebody is buying chai for his day, that will not be recorded. No. Wouldn't it be recorded in the petty expenses?
Yes.
All right. So anything that is of monetary transaction and is significant to the business for its expenses has to be recorded. What else? Record कर लिया. Record कैसे करते हैं? Journalizing. Journalizing is recording. We look at the sources. We look at the vouchers, purchase slips, payment receipts. All of these are our documents. Those are our proofs on the basis of which those are the sources on the basis of which we are going to record. बच्चे ये 55 minutes की क्लास होने वाली है. Make sure that you have to enter timely in the class. All right? Yes. Okay. So recording, journalizing from the source document. आप कुछ भी record करते हो, it is very important to have an evidence for the same. Right? What is auditing? Audit means Who is it? Yes, try.
Like check up the all is good and wrong.
Right, it is verification whether the statements are presented in the true and fair manner. मतलब जितना important material है, जितना important transactions है, have all of these material transactions been recorded rightly or not? Right. So by studying accountancy, what all are the career professions that you can choose? You can opt. You can become an accountant, right?
Yes.
If you do a chartered accountancy charter, if you take that charter from ICAI, then you will become a CA. But you can always be an accountant by studying accountancy. All of you are become program students. Yes. Sit. Can you please shut the door? Settle down very quickly, guys, and please be on time from next classes. All right? Allowed, I yes. All right? Yes. Okay. So, okay, you can become a CA, you can become an accountant. What else? Can you become an auditor?
Yes.
Of course you can. If you have the knowledge of accounts, financial statements, if you are able to read financial statements and verify whether these financial statements have been made properly, you can become an auditor. Which are big 4 audit firms? Are we aware of? See, whatever we study in college, we have to link it to the job market. Our ultimate aim is to get the job, get the right job for ourselves. So you have to build your skill. जो भी पढ़ रहे हो, question yourself, इससे आपकी क्या skill building हो रही है, okay? तो चलो आप auditor बन सकते हो. Auditors कहाँ पे होते हैं? Which are the audit companies? बैंक में auditor हो सकता है, बिल्कुल. There are 4 companies that are known as Big 4. And every commerce student should know about these 4 companies. Have you heard of Deloitte? No? Okay, a few of you. This is not working. It's not visible, right?
Yes.
Have you heard of EY, Ernst & Young? No. Okay. Have you heard of KPMG?
No.
Have you heard of PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers? PwC list third. You should have your knowledge. Please build on your knowledge around these 4 companies. What do these companies do, and how a commerce student fetch a job in these 4 companies. Okay, so it is your homework that you will get yourself cognizance. You will get cognizance around these 4 companies. You will find out what these 4 companies are. Okay, और तो चलो accountant बन सकते हो, auditor बन सकते हो, और कुछ बन सकते हो? CS company secretary. It is very important for CS also to have general information on how financial statements look like. What else? CMA, cost and management accountant. Right? So there are various branches of accountancy. We are going to study in this semester financial accountancy. Later on, you will get to study cost accountancy, management accountancy, all of that, right? Okay. Who all want to choose a career in finance in their later part of career? Do anybody wants to, become a chartered financial analyst?
I'm doing CA foundation and exam December.
CA career, very nice. Anybody CA?
Yes.
CA. Nobody is a CFA here? Okay. Again, build your knowledge on what this course is about. CFA kya hai? This is also something that you should all know. Okay. So to become a financial analyst, it is again very important for you to be able to understand accountancy, for you to be able to understand, read financial statement. This is the base for every financial subject or domain. Okay. So this was a little bit on the job opportunities by studying this particular subject, by acquiring skill in this particular subject. Now coming to what is the definition? It is recording, classifying, summarizing all the monetary transactions and significant economic transactions. Further, now you have आपने सोर्सेज उठाए, वाउचर्स उठाए, पेमेंट रिसीट्स उठाई, परचेज स्लिप्स उठाई और सारी की जर्नल एंट्रीज कर दी, व्हिच मींस रिकॉर्डिंग द ट्रांजैक्शंस. उसके बाद उन एंट्रीज को हर अकाउंट में क्लासिफाई कर दिया, दैट इज कॉल्ड लेजर अकाउंट, राइट? एंड आफ्टर क्लासिफाइंग यू समराइज्ड इट इन ट्रायल बैलेंस. ठीक है, हम ये सब करेंगे. पोस्ट व्हिच व्हाट आर यू सपोज्ड टू डू? ट्रायल बैलेंस बन गया, एडजस्टमेंट्स भी दे दी, सब्सिडरी बुक्स बन गई, कैश बुक बना दिया कि भैया कहां से पैसा आया, कहां को पैसा गया, कैश बुक में सब रिकॉर्ड कर लिया, राइट? तो जर्नल एंट्रीज के साथ साथ हम सब्सिडरी बुक्स भी बनाते हैं, परचेज अकाउंट, परचेज रिटर्न अकाउंट, सेल्स रिटर्न अकाउंट, ऑल ऑफ दैट. उसके बाद हम लेजर बनाते हैं, उसके बाद हम ट्रायल बैलेंस बनाते हैं, उसके बाद क्या राइट? आवर अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू मेक बैलेंस शीट एंड account or income statement, income and expenditure account. So this part is communicating the information to the external users, because external users only get access to financial statements, which are balance sheet, income statement and cash flow statement. ये 3 statements हैं जिससे आप अपनी कंपनी की फिजिकल पीरियड में जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है, मटेरियल इंफॉर्मेशन है, that you are going to communicate to the external users. ठीक है, उनके पास सिर्फ उसी का ही एक्सेस है. You want to come inside? Kanan? Go. So how is bookkeeping different from accountancy? Bookkeeping is only recording, classifying and summarizing. But if we are also trying to analyze those numbers, interpret those numbers and communicate it to the external users, it becomes accounting. Okay? So recording, classifying, summarizing. Till here it is all bookkeeping. If you interpret the numbers, make a P&L out of it, make a balance sheet out of it, we get to know what company owes to outsiders. So what company owns? Company का खुद का क्या है? Company बाहर वालों को क्या owe करती है? The liabilities, and you get to know कि company की profit कितनी है for the year. When we get to know all of these, is what we call as interpretation, and then we communicate it through income statements and balance sheet and CFS, cash flow statement. Okay. Moving ahead, can you switch the slide? Okay. There are various branches of accounting. We have financial accounting, cost accounting, management accounting, NPO accounting, non-for-profit organization accounting, tax accounting. There is another accounting these days becoming very popular, which is green accounting. What is green accounting? I'm not going to delve into the definitions of each one of these. Cost and management accounting is something that you will be studying in your subsequent semester, and you will get to know how these accounting are useful for the management of the organization. Okay, it's only financial accounting that is communicated to outsiders, right? These are used inherently by all the management and the owners. What is green accounting? Any idea? Related to nature. Okay, makes sense. और क्या? Related to environment, maybe green environment, sustainability. We use it interchangeably. So if the company, while calculating the operating income, while calculating their income, they are also considering the cost associated with the environment. by doing their operations, in what ways have they affected the environment and how they can adapt or mitigate the climate change, as in how they have affected the environment, and they'll have to do something to rejuvenate the environment. The way they have affected, they'll have to rework on the replenish the environment, right? So they'll have to spend some cost associated with that, expenses associated with that. So जब हम income calculate करते हैं green accounting में, we also consider what is the cost associated with environment that company has to rejuvenate. Okay. Again, we are only going to focus on financial accounting. Please switch the slide. Yes. So these are the three major questions that an accountant has to answer. One, what the company own? Company के assets क्या हैं? What are assets? All right. So what are assets? How do you define assets? Louder.
Tangible assets.
Tangible. Assets can be tangible or intangible. Okay. What are assets?
Convert the machinery and business को long run तक business को long run तक growth करने को.
Long run तक growth करने. So assets are business resources. जो resources business own करता है, business के पास right है to use them, to turn it into cash, or to keep it, right to sell them, right to use them. All of that is with the business. वो business का resource है, उससे जो भी benefits आएंगे, that business is going to reap. So business has the right to use, produce, or sell that particular resource. So that resource is owned by business. So an accountant has to answer that at a particular point of time, जब भी balance sheet होती है, it is as at, right? It is on a particular day because it keeps on changing. If we make a balance sheet every day, we'll get a different value for various line items, right? Asset आपके पास inventory है, inventory आपने finished good में convert कर दी, तो वो inventory कम हो गई, finished good बढ़ गया. Inventory कम हुई, पहले work in progress बढ़ा, फिर finished good बढ़ा, right? उसके बाद जब वो sell हो गया, तो finished good कम हो गया, cash बढ़ गया, right? Does this make sense? At the back, are you able to listen? Are you able to listen? Yeah. All right. So first thing, what companies owns. Second thing, what do you owe? What does that mean? Huh? Owe का क्या मतलब है? उधार लेना, right? You owe to outsiders. So the liabilities of the business. An accountant has to be able to tell at a point in time how much company has taken the debt, right? Those debt might be taken from banks, those debt might be taken from suppliers. जिससे हमने vendor से raw material लिया लेकिन उसे पैसे अभी नहीं दिए. So any kind of debt will be a liability. Anything that you owe to outsiders. Okay. What is the last thing that an accountant should be able to do? How much money did you make? Accountant should be able to tell that for a fiscal period. What is a fiscal period? Financial year. What is the financial year followed in India? 1st April to 31st March. Calendar year? Yes. From calendar year. Right. Okay. So for the fiscal period, what are the profits earned by the company? Right? What is it that the company has made in this year, in this particular period? Is what an accountant should be able to tell. Switch the slide, please. Okay, who are the users of financial statements?
Bankers.
चलो बताओ, bankers क्या करेंगे?
Loan related.
So lenders.
Yes.
So lenders should be able to read the financial statements to know the credit worthiness of the company. कि company loan चुका पाएगी वापस की नहीं, right? So to assess the company's credit worthiness, assets.
Ma'am, investors.
Investors. Okay, who are investors?
Who invest in companies.
How do somebody invest in a company?
Taking shares.
Okay. So general public, common man like me and you can invest in a company by buying shares in the secondary market. ठीक है, शेयर मार्केट से हम अगर कंपनी के शेयर्स ले लें तो हम उस उतने परसेंटेज ऑफ शेयर्स के लिए ओनर है कंपनी में, राइट? Or the owners of the company who directly fund the company, the founders of the company who bring in capital for operations can also invest directly. So that is private placement. Who else are the users of financial statements? Researchers. Okay, how very interesting. How?
Ma'am, researchers. जैसे उन्हें पता करना होता है कि कंपनी में कितना प्रॉफिट हो रहा है, कितना लॉस, जैसे शेयर्स हम लेते हैं थ्रू रिसर्चर्स के.
So, right, anybody, any equity researcher, any firm who wants to give a recommendation whether a company should be bought or sold. अगर किसी कंपनी को ये बताना, उनका काम ये है कि वो हर शेयर को एनालाइज करेंगे और इन्वेस्टर्स को बताएंगे कि उन्हें इस शेयर में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए या नहीं करना चाहिए. उसके लिए they should have access to financial statements. They should be able to. So equity researchers, perfect. Who else?
Ma'am,
Government क्यों? So tax authorities should have access to financial statements, right, to calculate the taxable income and tax liability of the company. Okay, yes. Who else?
potential investors.
Yes, potential investors, perfect. The ones who want to invest in the company will first analyze the company through financial statements. Perfect. Who else?
Ma'am, internal audience also like employees.
Employees. Why would employees want to have an access to financial statements?
Bonus के लिए.
Right. If they want to know कि company की कितना profit हुआ है and how much bonus are they expecting, can they expect from the company? How much pay hike can they expect from the company? How their company is doing in general, so that they can decide whether to be in this company for a longer term or not. Right? कि उन्हें कंपनी में रहना है कि नहीं, कंपनी की growth potential is very important for an employee also. Only then employee will be able to grow if the company is growing. Right?
थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट करेंगे. कुछ बच्चे भी हैं जो छोटे हैं, तो सीटिंग एलिमेंट कम है, तो थोड़ा सा एडजस्ट करके बैठाना पड़ेगा. तो आएगा अगली बार फिर देख लेंगे. तो थोड़ा आप लोग भी कोऑपरेट करेंगे, ठीक है? तो सभी आप लोगों के दोस्त हैं, नए दोस्त आ रहे हैं, साथ में बैठा लेते हैं. आइए, एक लाइन से कोई शोर नहीं करेंगे, क्लास लाइव चल रहा है, शोर नहीं करेंगे, कोई भी शोर नहीं. आराम से एक एक करके एडजस्ट कर लीजिएगा.
Quiet, बच्चे, please. Sit, settle down, please. Help them settle down. यहाँ जाओ. Sit. From next time, please be on time. Abhi we are doing simple things. Eventually, it will get into complex concepts, right? So please come on time. Okay. We were on internal users. We talked about employees, how employees would want to know how the company has done in the last year. What else? Suppliers, right? Suppliers also lend money for short term, right? If the suppliers are supplying raw material and company is asking them to give some credit, suppliers should know whether the company will be able to give them their money back in a period of 2 months, 3 months, 1 month, right? So we conduct what is known as ratio analysis to understand the profitability of the company, to understand the credit worthiness of the company, to understand the liquidity of the company. कि company को अगर within a period of 1 week बहुत सारे cash की जरूरत पड़ जाए, will the company able to provide for that cash? That is called liquidity, short-term cash position of the company, right? So only by understanding the financial statements, conducting the ratio analysis. Ratio analysis is also part of your syllabus. Conducting this ratio analysis, you will be able to understand the solvency, that is creditworthiness, profitability, and liquidity position. Also the turnover position, as in how quickly are they able to turn over their inventory into sales. कितनी जल्दी वो अपनी inventory को बेच पा रहे हैं. Okay. All right. So any other user? General public. Why? Whether they are for ethical trading. Okay. Whether they are operating ethically or not. Right. How much harm are they injecting to the environment? We should know that. How much harm they are injecting to the environment is in a way the harm they are injecting to the society. Right? Okay. Management किसी ने बोला very important. Management has to know the financial statements of the company. They need to know कि उनका कौन सा product चल रहा है, कहाँ पे profit better आ रहा है, कहाँ पे losses हो रहे हैं. They need to have access to every kind of company accounts, right? To be able to strategize well. वो सही strategies लेने के लिए उनको देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन से projects में profit अच्छा है, return अच्छा है, all of that. Okay? Can we switch the slide? And owners, right? Of course. So owners are investors also in a way. Yes, owners will be owners will also be the majority shareholders of the company. The ones who have majority shareholding pattern, they may or may not have majority shareholding pattern, but these are the ones who founded the company, who founded the ideation of the company, who got the company registered, and who made the company up and running. Right? जिन्होंने सारे operations शुरू किए, company register कराया, will be the founders, and they would have obviously invested some capital to make the operations of the company run. ठीक है? We have discussed owners, management, employees, potential investors, creditors, lenders, tax authorities, everything. Can we switch to another slide? Okay. There are many accounting principles and conventions that provide a guideline to how accountants should report things so that a standardization is maintained. हर company के जो financial statements हैं, they should be comparable. They will be comparable only when every accountant has prepared the financial statement in a standard manner. Okay. So there are many principles, and I am leaving for you to figure out all these principles and read through all these principles. Only 3 to 4 conventions or principles I would like to discuss. Separate legal entity principle. What does this say? Separate legal entity. The owner is separate from the business. Right. So the liabilities of the company are that of the companies, and nobody can charge the personal assets of the owner, right? It is only assets of the business that can be charged or held accountable to meet the liabilities of the company. Because of this separate legal entity liquidity principle, when an owner infuse some capital into the company, what is the transaction we pass? So if he has infused cash, cash account debited to capital. So owner's capital. And this capital is treated like a liability. I have 4 markers. And none of them seem to be functioning right now. Separate legal entity, cash to capital. Capital, this is what company owes to the owners who have infused capital. ठीक है? लेकिन उसको ये पैसा कब वापस मिलेगा? Only when profit. So जो capital होता है, capital is the residue that is left after taking care of liabilities plus the accumulated profits. Right? जितना भी पैसा कंपनी के पास है, वो पैसे से जब सारी लाइबिलिटी मीट हो जाएगी, तो जो पैसा बच जाएगा is what is left for the owners of the company, right? So only when we say liquidate a company, all the assets will be first used to pay off all its debts, and whatever remain for the owner. On annual basis, owner might be taking cash out of the company in form of dividend, right? Profit आया company के पास, वो company में ही रहेगा unless that profit is announced to be distributed among the owners or shareholders, right? ठीक है, तो क्योंकि separate legal entity है, hence this capital is treated like a liability for a company, okay? So when an owner, let's say, withdraws some money from the company, so what journal entry do we pass? Drawing to cash. Why? Because cash as an asset has reduced, and drawing as an, is it an asset or a liability? Liability. अगर capital owner ने withdraw किया है, तो capital किसका था? Owner. कंपनी के पास आया ना कैश, so cash कम हो गया और drawing account as a asset has increased. Okay, all right. So this was about separate legal entity. Let's move to another principle called prudence concept. What is prudence concept or prudence convention? Yes. Right. So prudence convention says record all probable losses, prospective losses, future losses, but do not record probable profits. So it is also known as conservative principle. You have to be cautious. You have to be conservative, right? And hence, if you see that company is going to experience a loss in future, you should be able to provide for that loss right now. Okay. So how do we do that? Can you give an example of how we provide for future losses? Provision for debt. Right. How do we pass the journal entry for provision for debt? So we have debtors worth, let's say, 50,000. So out of that, you feel that 5,000 is given to a debtor who is never going to return. Okay. So bad debt. And you feel that you are doubtful that another 5,000 might also not be returned. तो इस 5,000 के लिए जो provide करोगे, what is the journal entry that will pass? Provision for doubtful debt to debtors. Provision for doubtful debt is a loss. जब loss बढ़ता है तो debit.
Yes, no, all expenses less than
Debit. Provision for doubtful debt to debtor account. Because debtor account as an asset has reduced. Okay? ठीक है. So why do we provide for doubtful debt or why do we provide for, let's say आपको पता है कि 1 साल बाद आपको डिबेंचर्स रिडीम करना है. आपने पैसा उठाया था डिबेंचर से, अब जब आप रिडीम करोगे तो यू माइट हैव टू रिडीम इट ऑन प्रीमियम. आपने जितना लिया था उससे ज्यादा देना पड़े. डिबेंचर्स क्या होते हैं? लायबिलिटी तो होती है. Fixed income securities issued by the company to raise funds. Right? Any holder or any debenture holder can expect the money back after few years and also will expect the interest expenses and annually. Right? If that debenture carries a coupon rate, let's say 8%, and debenture price is 1,000. So one debenture holder, when he bought one debenture, he gave 1,000 rupees to the company. Every year he is going to receive 8% of 1,000 rupees for 5 years. If that debenture is term to maturity is 5 years, every year the company or the debenture holder is going to receive 8% of 1,000 rupees as an interest payment, and after 5 years the debenture holder will receive back this 1,000 rupees also. Now it is a possibility that this debenture holder might receive 1,000 plus some premium amount. So if a company has decided to pay back, redeem the debentures at a premium, they'll have to again account for this expense beforehand. ठीक है, पहले ही, क्योंकि जब डिबेंचर इशू हुआ होगा तभी कंपनी ने डिसाइड कर लिया कि इसकी जब रिडेम्पशन होगी तो एट पार होगी, एट डिस्काउंट होगी या एट प्रीमियम होगी. यूजुअली प्रीमियम या एट पार ही होगी, एट डिस्काउंट कभी नहीं होगी. सो the company will have to record this premium amount that they will have to pay after 5 years, but they will have to pay. Right? It is a fixed income security. It can, अगर वो ये पे नहीं करते तो the debenture holders can sue the company and have a claim on their assets. ठीक है? All right. Moving ahead. No, you don't move ahead. Back. Another concept that I would want to acknowledge here is we record transaction on accrual basis and not on cash basis. What is the difference?
Ma'am, cash is only cash transaction recorded. Accrual में cash और credit both are recorded.
Okay. Anything else? So जब accrual basis पे transactions record होती है, तो whether or not they have been paid right now in cash or received right now in cash, if they have been incurred in this period, they have to be recorded. ठीक है, payment कब हो रही है या receipt कब हो रहा है in form of cash doesn't matter, right? It has to be recognized as and when the expenditure is made. Okay? चाहे वो outstanding है या वो paid है, you will have to record it in the same period. Understand? All right. There are other principles like materiality principle, a full disclosure principle. Materiality principle says that every material information, material means important, significant, pertinent, every important information has to be recorded. अगर वो monetary nature की तो नहीं है for now. For example, let's say company, let's say Trends outlet गए हो, तो ट्रेंड्स आउटलेट जहां ऑपरेट करता है, जिन भी एरियाज में, जिन भी लैंड पे ऑपरेट करता है, वो लीज कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स करता है. मतलब वो हर साल उस लैंड के लिए कुछ लीज रेंटल पे करता है. ठीक है, और उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होता है कि 5 साल कम से कम वो ये लीज रेंटल पे करेगा और 5 साल तक तो उसके पास ही ये जगह रहेगी. उसके बाद वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट रिन्यू भी हो सकता है, नहीं भी हो सकता है. राइट? तो ये पैसा अगर कंपनी नहीं देगी, लीज रेंटल पे नहीं करेगी, तो वो ऑपरेट ही नहीं कर पाएगी. The facility will have to be shut down, right? So this is a liability that is आज इस बार जो पे कर दिया वो तो इस बार का एक्सपेंस है, लेकिन अगले 4 साल भी पे करना है. That is also like a liability, that is an expense that will be made in future. But it is important because अगर ये पेमेंट नहीं हुई, the company will have to shut down its operations in that facility. क्योंकि इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसलिए नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स में कंपनी बताती है कि उनके लीज पेमेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स कितने हैं, हर साल अगले आने वाले 4-5 साल उनको कितना लायबिलिटी, कितना पेमेंट करना होगा टुवर्ड्स लीज रेंटल. ठीक है? सो मटेरियलिटी कॉन्सेप्ट से एनीथिंग इंपॉर्टेंट, एनी ट्रांजैक्शन, एनी इवेंट दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. जैसे कंपनी कोई ट्रायल चल रहा है कंपनी का किसी कोर्ट में, अ कंज्यूमर हैज सूड कंपनी फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट, एंड नाउ that trial can turn in favor of the company or can turn against the company. Favor में आया तो good enough, against में आया then the company will have to bear a lot of expense, right? So company should be able to communicate this information to its investors, to outsiders as well, because this is important. This can hamper the functioning of the company in future. So anything important has to be recorded either on the financial statements or in the notes to accounts. All right. Switch. So the basic accounting equation is asset is equal to liability plus owner's equity. पैसा के सोर्सेस क्या क्या है? या तो कंपनी के ओनर्स ने पैसा डाला है, शेयर होल्डर्स ने पैसा डाला है, या फिर कंपनी ने बाहर से पैसा उठाया है, राइट? तो ये सोर्सेस ऑफ फंड्स है. यहां से पैसा आ रहा है और पैसा लग कहां आ रहा है? So asset will always be equal to liability plus owner's equity. Asset we have understood, resources that are owned by the company. Company has the right to use it, right to sell it, right to produce out of it, anything. The benefit is going to be reaped by the company. Liability are the obligations of the firm towards outsider. बैंक को अगर बैंक लोन लिया है तो डिबेंचर होल्डर को अगर डिबेंचर से पैसा रेज किया है, तो सप्लायर्स को अगर सप्लायर से गुड्स क्रेडिट पे लिया है, ऑल ऑफ दैट विल बी अकाउंटेड इन लायबिलिटी. अच्छा चलो एसेट की पहले क्लासिफिकेशन करते हैं. टेल मी ऑन व्हाट बेसिस कैन यू क्लासिफाई एसेट्स?
Tangible and intangible.
Cool. Tangible assets, intangible assets.
One more.
Fictitious assets. Okay. We'll come to that later. First, tangible asset, intangible assets. How do you define that? Give me some examples for tangible assets.
Which can be used more than 1 year.
Which can be seen and touched, physically present in the in the facility. Give me example of tangible asset. So, go over it again. Plant, machinery, plant, equipment, loose tools, premises, inventory, finished goods, raw material, anything and everything that is tangible can be seen and touched, present in the operating facility, will be referred to as tangible asset. Give me example of intangible asset. Right. Goodwill, patent, copyright, trademark, geographical indication. What is geographical indication? No. Geographical indication क्या होता है? नहीं पता. बच्चे can you be louder?
It is a land style where she's saying that the article is involved in the plan and building or setup.
No. Homework, you like figure out what geographical indication is. It has a broader meaning than accountancy. It is not only limited to accountancy. As an English term also you should know what geographical indication is. Okay? अभी तक क्या क्या बोला है मैंने? You have to know about big fours and what geographical indication is. Okay? Can we also classify assets as current asset and non-current asset? Yes. So what are current assets? How is it different from non-current asset or fixed assets?
Current asset can be used less than 1 year and
Okay.
more than 1 year.
So assets whose benefits will be driven within 1 year are usable only for coming 1 year will be termed as current assets, and non-current asset or fixed assets are the ones whose benefit will be driven for period more than 1 year. It could be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Okay. Examples: current asset. Goods, okay, finished good, inventory. Loose tools, equipment, छोटे-छोटे. Okay. How about non-current assets? Plant, making machinery, computer, all of that. Goodwill को current asset में term करते हो या non-current asset में? Non-current. All right. Liabilities again we can classify as current liability and non-current liability. Please define current liability for me. Creditors, okay, sundry creditors, which has to be paid within 1 year, or that liability will fall under short-term liability or current liability, and long-term liability will be liability that has to be paid in more than 1 year. The payment has to be is obliged to them for more than 1 year. अभी भी थोड़ी पेमेंट करनी है तो वो आएगी करंट में और बाकी बची हुई पेमेंट आएगी नॉन करंट. ठीक है. लास्ट ओनर्स इक्विटी. Owner's equity we have already defined is the residual claim of owners towards assets after all liability has been met. अगर कंपनी लिक्विडेट होती है तो पहले एसेट से सारी लायबिलिटीज मीट होंगी, जो बचा कुचा रह जाएगा दैट इज गोइंग टू गो टू ओनर्स, एंड एवरी ईयर इन फॉर्म ऑफ डिविडेंड दे कैन रीप द प्रॉफिट्स फ्रॉम द फर्म. अगर कंपनी ने प्रॉफिट अर्न किया है, कंपनी कैन चूज टू रिटेन दिस प्रॉफिट to be used in the company facilities or can choose to distribute this profit fully or partially in form of dividend. Shares भी हो सकता है, bonus shares का concept आता है, right? कि उन्हें cash नहीं जाना, they don't want the cash to go, but they want to capitalize their reserves and surplus. They give extra shares for free to the existing shareholders, bonus shares, right? You've heard of bonus shares? No?
Yes.
We'll come to this concept again later on. So bonus shares is allotting shares to the existing shareholders, and existing shareholders do not have to pay anything in lieu of those shares. Shares मिल जाएगी, उन्हें कुछ pay नहीं करना. Okay? Switch. So this is a very basic format of balance sheet. We have, I mean, don't go by this format. This is not correct. We do it vertically. This is only a basic classification of asset and liabilities. We have a liability side wherein we have short-term liabilities, long-term liabilities, and equity. Equity is capital that the owner infused plus accumulated reserves accumulated profits, right? जो भी प्रॉफिट आएगा वो ओनर्स इक्विटी कैपिटल में ऐड हो जाएगा. जो कैपिटल इक्विटी होल्डर लाया था खुद से प्लस उसमें जो प्रॉफिट ऐड होता जाएगा दैट इज इक्विटी. Assets में we have fixed assets, current assets, financial assets. What are financial assets? Louder. Anybody, what are financial assets? नहीं पता? Anybody at the back? What are financial assets? So if let's say Tata Steel is a company, Tata Steel invests in buys 10% equity of Jindal Steel. ठीक है? Or 10% is a little too much to be called as a minority. Let's say 4% equity of Jindal Steel. तो Tata Steel ने Jindal Steel company के shares खरीदे. So that is a financial asset. That will be reflected here. So investments made in other securities or other companies. Jindal Steel ने government bonds खरीदे हैं. मतलब अपना पैसा government को दिया और उसके लिए में bond ले लिया. That will come here. Okay? So any financial security जिसका claim है किसके पास? Tata Steel के पास. Tata Steel ने security खरीदा मतलब पैसा दिया है और उसके पास security है. उस security के against they can receive back the money. They can sell the security to receive back the money, or they can keep getting the interest payments on that or dividend payments on that security. Right? So all those securities will come under financial asset. Okay, I will wind my class here. It was lovely interacting with you guys. Hope to see you in the next class. Please come early, okay? Thank you so much. What's my name? Juhi. Everybody has to write their roll number, guys.